Hi, Libra, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing a really cool reading for you. This is Pluto retrograde re entering into Capricorn, and this will be on June 11th, 2023. Now, this reading goes to November 2024, so I know it is quite a long one and it is quite an interesting one. So I hope you're as excited for it as I am. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It lets me know that you like these type of readings, and it also lets the YouTube algorithm know that these type of readings are liked and shares them with more people. So thank you so very much for doing so. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see the energy we need to be mindful of as Pluto revisits Capricorn for the last time in about 250 years. So the last time in our lifetimes. Let's see, angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading. Oh, the Five of Swords. We need to be mindful because during this time, and again, it's a long time frame from the 11th of June to November 2024. That will be when Pluto finally stays and settles into Aquarius. We're going to find that we have certain battles that just kind of come up, and it's like, why am I having this argument again, or why am I meeting this type of person again? And this is going to be something that we can find quite frustrating. But each time we need to stand more and more in our power, because what we're going to have a tendency to do is just want to walk away, like be non-confrontational. And there's something to be said for that. But even if we don't engage in conflict, but we stand in our power, we stand in the authority of ourselves, and we know our worth, that's a huge change. And that can be very powerful as well. So there's something here where either people are going to underestimate you, or they're going to think, well, I was able to bully this before, or bully this with other people, I should be able to bully it with you. And that's just not going to be the case. So you'll find, Libra, during this time that there is this, why am I meeting these type of people? And why is this energy coming into my sphere? And it's because you're leveling up, kind of like a video game, right? You're gathering everything that you need to level up and then to become stronger and progress in the game. So let's see what Spirit has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Here we have nature. We need to embrace our nature. We also need to embrace nature. So being outside is going to be very important for us. Gardening, going for walks, things like that will feel kind of drawn to it. Even if we're ignoring it, we're going to feel very drawn to nature. What we have to also be aware of is our own nature, of really saying, this is who I am. And it can be a while that we kind of fought, like, I don't want to be this or do this, or, this is too quirky, or this was something I was made fun of for. And now we're really settling in and saying, this is me. This is me. This is my nature. This is what I like. This is what I don't like. This is what empowers me. This is what doesn't. And I move forward in this power and in this grace. Let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. So it's very interesting is that you have all major arcana cards, right? Except for one ace card. And that's intense. This is going to be an intense time. You're not really, astrologically speaking, looking forward to the power that Pluto has. And that's because Pluto, now, okay, so just to take in everything that Spirit is saying while I'm talking to you guys. So that's why I pause. With the death card is Scorpio. Scorpio energy is ruled by Pluto. We can find that if we're born on the cusp with Scorpio, if we have a lot of Scorpio in our chart, we can kind of feel like this is a wacky time. We can feel like, okay, how do I move forward? Where do I need to be? There's an awakening that's happening that you're not necessarily comfortable with, and that just needs to be acknowledged. There's also a prosperity that's coming forward, a sense again of leveling up, moving into the next chapter of what we want from our lives. But it's challenging. It's almost like, okay, I take, 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. And there's that dance that keeps on going on that we get really frustrated with, really overwhelmed by. So acknowledging that can be very liberating. So being aware of that is going to be very important. Now, Pluto retrograde began in Aquarius on May 1st, 2023, and it's moving into Capricorn on the 11th of June to the 10th of October. So that's going to be a very intense time. Now, again, it goes in and out from Aquarius to Capricorn up until November 2024. So, according to the senior astrologer of astrology.com, and I do apologize for saying her name wrong, it's Narayana, and I don't know how to say her last name. So, what she says here, but I'll have her linked in the description box below. We will continue to see big names, politicians, billionaires, media personalities fall from grace as Pluto continues to expose the hypocrisies. While we are already seeing this trend, it will be exacerbated when Pluto forms a square with the lunar node of destiny between June and September of this year. It will be mind blowing to see how this is related to the decomposing of our old structures, paving the way for new ones to be built once Pluto finally stays in Aquarius for good, which will not happen until November 2024. We're seeing it. We're seeing old structures fall away. When Pluto enters into Capricorn, okay, it's old orders, old rules. We're looking at them and saying, why? Why does it have to be this way? Why does it have to be like that? During this time, that questioning, okay, that, death, rebirth, destruction, energy of Pluto, that's a lot for us. Being aware that we're hypersensitive to it is going to be important. Now, it doesn't mean anything bad. It just simply means we're going to be more sensitive. And acknowledging that, gaining that sense of I have to be kinder to myself, that's going to be a big thing for us. With the Ace of Pentacles reverse, God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, is crowning us with a gift of prosperity, success, moving to the next level, really powerful dreams coming forward. We have to accept this. And have to is a harsh thing to say, like it's intense, but there is a sense here where spirit is saying, I need you to accept this. I need you to be empowered by this so that you can take this gift, because right now we're not ready for it. There's something here and we can feel like I need to move forward financially. Like I need to do XYZ, and we'll pretty much know what it is that we need to do. But what spirit is going to show us is that, or what we're going to feel is like, I'm not ready. And spirit's going to show us that we are, because they're going to put in challenges. And because this is a general reading, can't get quite as specific as each individual person would want to, but they're going to give us challenges that come up, and it's like, oh, why this type of person, why this situation, why this. But once we face it and face it and face it, and then we start to say, you know what, I can do that. You know what, I'm stronger than I thought I was. Like I can move forward like that. All of a sudden this card turns around and there's prosperity in us. There's wealth and abundance and bounty. And we start following our dreams more and more and more. Now, what's interesting here is that we have 2 water sign energies. We have Cancer and we have Scorpio. Those can be challenging energies for us. With Cancer reversed, okay, with the Chariot reversed, our emotions can tend to rule the show. And that's going to be something that Mamanan, the god of the sea, wants us to really rein in our emotions, rein in what is important to us, and then go for it. there's going to be questioning. It's either we repress our emotions and say, oh, that doesn't matter, that doesn't make sense. And then, they bubble up to the surface and then we're just all emotions. So we'll go from one extreme to the other. The thing with us, Libra, is that we always need to be balanced. And yet it can feel like we spend a lifetime finding that balance, finding that harmony. This is going to be a time where we realize our nature. And this is going to be a time where we see where things are kind of running away from us. And we say, okay, I see that. Okay, I own that. We have to give ourselves permission to feel, which is going to be very overwhelming for us. We can find that there are a lot of energies in our lives, a lot of people in our lives that I'm just seeing like emotional vampires. They're just very draining, very overwhelming, very intense. And it's like we need to acknowledge that intensity. We need to acknowledge that chaos and say, I don't want to be a part of it. Being aware of this, we need to have really clear boundaries. That's going to be a big thing so that we can move forward, so that we can go after what we want, so that we can, really sit there and say, this is me, this is where I need to be, this is what I desire. With the death card, you are getting, just as we saw with the Ace of Pentacles, and this is actually going to be something that increases your financial wealth, you are getting a lot of messages from spirit, a lot. And it's kind of like you're just like, time out, I have to put it on hold. White dogs, white animals in Welsh tradition were spirit linked, but white dogs, red ears, very spirit linked. Here we have the Lord of the Underworld, and we have the sense of moving forward on, not the sense, but we have him moving forward on the white horse. We have the dogs being led, and there's something here where there's a power that's leading us forward. There's a distinction, determination, focus, insight that's leading us forward. We're overwhelmed by it. Okay, we're overwhelmed by having one foot in the spirit world, one foot in the waking world. Again, if you have strong Scorpio ties, this can be very overwhelming for you, and you need to accept that. All right, or acknowledge it. Sitting there and saying, how do I put this? Do you ever feel like you just want to cry, Libra? Just like if you turn on the news or you hear something horrific or sad or overwhelming, it doesn't even have to be that sad. You can find that your emotions, they're easily stirred. Okay. And this is because you have a way of seeing things that isn't that black and white, right? We're justice, right? We're in the major arcana. We are represented by justice. And so we like things to be black and white. These are the clear answers. And what's very interesting with part of a Libra's life path is that it's not always the answers. It's not black and white page, black print. Here's the text. Here it is. Here's the knowledge. It's the nuance, it's the feelings, it's the emotions, it's the people that we're really drawn to. And there's a sense here of the heart guiding us in ways that we hadn't imagined, with love opening up to us in ways that we hadn't seen before, because it's us linked with the spirit world. During this time, because Pluto is just so powerful, we're finding it a bit difficult. The way things are being reborn, the way things are falling away, the way things are, being ripped down, and what's being built in its place. We need to be open with ourselves with what we desire and want. And there's a sense here of like, can I do that? Like, can I be that vulnerable? Because there's a vulnerability here that we're thinking, oh, do I want that? But the Lord of the Underworld is like, there's power, right? It's not a ghoulish power. There's a power in walking between the worlds. There just is. And it can be something that people are very uncomfortable with. Believe me, people can be very uncomfortable with that. And it's okay. But here with the high priestess, there's just a power to you as you accept this. So know that a lot of you Libras are going through an awakening. This time can be very energetically, psychically, intuitively charged. The high priestess, connected with nature, right? Clad completely in green, but also that's really trusting the heart chakra. That's really trusting our hearts and knowing that our hearts and our minds are so important. Our hearts actually have brains to them. There are emotional knowings and there are logical knowings. And we're really going to be connecting with that energy. There's going to be things here where we start to step into our heart energy, our emotions, our insights, our power, our grace, and our distinction of self. it's going to be something that seems like this reading can seem kind of wackadoodle to some, but it's not. It's like, it's really a sense of the veil is being lifted from my eyes. And I'm really seeing what I desire. I'm getting what I've deeply longed for, but not in the way that I thought it was going to come forward. And there are also secrets during this time because Pluto brings out secrets in establishments in the way that we thought things were going to be and things that we kind of took for granted. And we thought, oh, well, of course, that's it. We're going to see secrets coming forward. And it's like, oh, but it's really like this. And oh, I didn't know that. And oh, I don't remember this. So just be aware of this. The high priestess is coming forward, and one of your graces is going to be the opening of the third eye. You know, that the moon on top of the crescent moon on top of her third eye. She has one eye that is blind, and it's interesting that the horse is blind here too. So there's a sense of seeing without seeing that's going to be very important during this time. It's like you're seeing without seeing. So, I mean, seriously, guys, don't be surprised if you start getting visions, if you have really like lucid, powerful dreams. And it brings us then to temperance. It brings us to balance, but it also brings us to truth. Temperance, Sagittarius energy, also linked very much to justice, but not in the like letter of the law justice or balance like we see it, okay, in Libra energy. This is very much what is the truth. It's like whether it's just, whether it's not just. Sometimes Sagittarius doesn't really mind. It's like, but is it the truth? Is it the truth? You know, it's kind of like somebody could be guilty of something, right? And they find all this evidence, but they won't tell you, you know, where they hid things or, you know, what they've done. And so that will just obsess a Sagittarius energy. So just be aware of this, that it's like, I am looking for the truth. I'm diving deeper and deeper and deeper. Don't go down, you know, heartbreaking rabbit holes, okay? Things that are really negative energy. I'm going to just kind of lay it out for you. Don't walk down that path. Don't walk down that path because it will be so easy for you to get lost down it. But you'll also find it super intriguing. Like super intriguing. Why can't people do these things? Like, how did this happen? How did that happen? Type of thing. And you'll start off super curious and then it'll just eat your heart. Okay, don't let it do that. This world can eat your heart. You know, can eat all your positive emotions. So just know that, like Caradwin, you're getting what you deeply long for. There's a sense of being renowned, right? Caradwin is renowned for, you know, a witch, sorceress, but just like a real hero, but always a flawed hero, because Welsh mythology is all flawed heroes. So here, there is this real sense of getting what you deeply want, but not in ways that you had expected. And as you find your balance, you're going to get flooded by things. It's like things become so intense and so powerful and so insightful. And those dogs that were leading, that we were afraid to lead, now are right by our side. You know, here, you know, minus the red ears, of course, but they're right by our side. And there's a sense of, oh, I'm being guided towards more. Oh, there's something here that I didn't know. And that's going to be a lot of this time for us. It's like there's something here that I didn't know. And then all of a sudden, it starts to become clearer and clearer and clearer. However you connect with spirit. I see pencil in hand. So I see a lot of drawing. You can do intuitive drawings. Okay. Okay, intuitive drawings, intuitive writing, just letting yourself free form write, you know, letting yourself scribble and just think and take in knowledge. That's going to be very important. But there is something here with a creation and having that link between you and spirit be big. Okay, it really is. And if you are a good artist, okay, and you're listening to this, you might want to do spirit drawings for people. You know, spirit drawings, past life drawings, spirit guide animal drawings, and that can be rather lucrative for you. So just putting that out there because it's for somebody. Somebody needs to hear that. Let's see what. And even with jewelry, even with gemstones, you have a connection, Libra, during this time because again, it's disconcerting, but it's going to be very powerful with that Pluto energy. And once you accept it, like once you say, okay, this is me, it's like that's accepting of that nature and the power of your heart, knowing that your emotions rule so much, you're going to find that you can even, you know, make jewelry for people that have special like spiritual meanings to them and things like that. And all of a sudden, it's like, I'm so grounded in my own power. I'm so grounded in my own power that it's extraordinary. It moves us then to our subconscious, energy to be mindful of. And this is the Eight of Pentacles reversed. It can be that we have trouble in the details, like getting the details right. And if you are doing the artwork, you might start off vague at first, but as you do it, you become more and more refined. So just be aware of that. There's also a sense here where you can just not really feel like working, which I know sounds terribly silly because we have to, right? But there's a sense of we can get like overwhelmed and everything can be so much that we kind of step back and say, oh, I can't do this. And spirit's like, but we can, but we can. It's just kind of like flexing a muscle that we're not used to, or that can be very all encompassing for us. So just be aware of this. It can make us riches, it can, but it can also be rather draining and we can kind of shy away from it. So be aware of that. Our subconscious spirit message is inspire reversed. We need to do things that inspire us. There's a sense here with everything that's going on, we can forget about being inspired. We can forget about joy and connection and that power coming forward. So just be aware of this. With our subconscious tarot message, it's the 10 of Swords. We've come to a completion of a cycle within the mind. But this is also overkill, right? Overthinking, overanalyzing, being really intense on things, being mindful of this. But also know subconsciously, we're kind of going back to every hurt, every pain, every disappointment we've been through. And we're seeing a resurrection, a dying away of the old self, a rebirth of the new. This is my minor arcana death card. So here, there is a transformation that we're resistant to at first. We really are overpowered by it. But then we step into our power, we step into our grace, we step into what we desire, and we step out of our own mind. We're going to have a tendency to overthink, overanalyze, and, kind of like, that's fine. But there'll be a point where we're like, you know what? I'm done with this. I'm done with overthinking. I'm done with, listening to things that have me, just kind of like obsessing about things. And I'm letting go. And I'm letting in the divine. And you will see that the divine guides you in astounding ways. Yeah. But this is letting go of the overkill and finding that every heartbreak, every pain, every disappointment you have been through has shaped you, kind of like sculpted you, okay, in a way that is astounding. All right. All right, Libra. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Libra. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless and have a blessed time. Really take advantage of this. Bye.